Feeling like got people forgetting the folks of you. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones, then hide they hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss, karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then act shocked when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come on, pull up silent like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's fake, no cap. Y'all addicted to humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot painful light. Shame on you, shame. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. There you go. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss, no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurt and bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. These chicks bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day, like why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick online, real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can feel it. Projecting their wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grabs. Yeah. Y'all bully for a living, that's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now, karma got a long memory past. Lord, cover the wounded, cover the lonely heart, cover the lonely heart, cover the people crying silently in dark rooms. Teach us compassion again. Teach this world mercy again. Because words cut deep, so deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession with tearing strangers apart every day, that ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying pain for view. No more clowning her forever new. No more mob attacks for entertainment. That darkness got consequences too. Karma don't miss, and healing still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Enough is enough. Spread love before it's too late. Yeah, before it's too late. every time. I think we finally figured it out. Somebody let pride walk in. Somebody let ego take the wheel. Damn. We're stronger together. Yeah. We're stronger together. Yeah. We started with a vision, lift each other high, turn these little channels into reasons people smile. Shared every live stream, dropped each other's names. Now we're acting like we're strangers in the game. Clicks over compassion, views over truth. Everybody chasing numbers, who's chasing the youth? Every week another friendship breaking at the seams. How we building kingdoms if we're tearing up the team? We get so close, I can almost see it. One big family, everybody eating. Then pride shows up and the love disappear. Now all I hear is silence in my ear. Damn, why we always fall apart? Damn, who taught us to guard our hearts? We rise together, then divide again. I still believe we can still win. But damn, it hurts to watch. Everybody say we family, till the camera stop rolling. Everybody say I love you, till somebody else is growing. One blessing shouldn't threaten mine. God made enough sunlight for everybody to shine. Somebody getting 50 views, somebody getting 50,000. While we counting blessings like love is running out, then what if your breakthrough was connected to my hand? What if heaven's waiting for us to understand? Maybe the algorithm ain't the enemy. Maybe fear is, maybe competition is. Maybe we're starving for applause when we should be feeding purpose. I ain't perfect, I got scars too. I misunderstood people, people misunderstood me too. But if we never heal, we'll repeat the pain. Different faces, same old game. Children watching, learning from my ways. Seeing grown folks go each other away. What are we teaching? What's left behind? If all they remember is how we couldn't unify. Damn, I can almost hear the future calling. Damn, why we keep stumbling when we're walking? There's room for me, there's room for you. Success ain't smaller because somebody else broke through. One light can start another. One voice can lift another. One dream can wake a nation if we stop competing and start creating. One day, the subscribers won't matter, the views won't matter, the money won't matter. People will remember who made them feel seen, who reached back instead of reaching over. Maybe unity isn't something we wait for. Maybe it's something we become. We're still here. We're still family. We can still get it right. Damn, but I still believe. Damn, but I still believe.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden, and we are back with another live today, y'all. We got a few more things we're gonna get into. If you caught yesterday's live, we were doing some celebrity gossip with purpose, and we were hearing some great things from two great interviews with Whoopi Goldberg, and as you can see here, Roy Wood Jr. comedians. But they do other things as well. So we wanted to come back on today since it's a nice Saturday and it's real chill and do the part two of that. Nothing too serious today. It is about 3:46 p.m. here Eastern Time in the United States in the Carolinas. A child, the sun is shining bright, so you know what that means. I'm in an excellent mood. It is a little bit hot outside, but it's okay. It's okay. We need the heat sometime. I'm having a lovely day, and I do have a day off from mommy duties. So I have my lovely co-host Imani here with me, and I also have Mama Warrior here with me. And so we'll be doing this live together, y'all, all three of us. Thank you all for coming over to listen to us. And join again. So shout out to Asher. What's up, Asher? Thank you so much for coming over. We appreciate that. But before we go ahead and get into the live, you know, we got to do our housekeeping. And today we have positive housekeeping. And so we will hear from Imani first. We're going to let her go ahead and kick it off because she does so great kicking it off. So Imani, how you doing, girl? How you feeling? How's your day? Happy Saturday. What's going on over there with you in the UK?
Well, today it was warm, it was sunny. It's 8:45 p.m. and it's cooled down. I'm good. I've done my woosas for today. I did my tai chi this.
Your sound went out, Imani, if you can hear me. Hold on. Okay. All right. More StreamYard issues. So she's going to reset her audio or whatnot and be right back so she can finish her intro, child. And we get into our housekeeping. She'll be right back. Um, Give us just a second, y'all. StreamYard has been acting really strange. Like, I'm telling you, it's really a pain in the butt. The past few days, I've been just battling with StreamYard. Sound is going in and out, the music going in and out, everything going in and out. But we ain't gonna let it steal our joy. We will just navigate through it and fix it and keep it pushing. But Asha says, enjoying this beautiful day. We have friends coming over later. That's awesome. Oh, sounds great. I'm glad. Happy Saturday. I am glad that y'all having a good Saturday. You get to kick it with some of your friends. That's always a great time. Okay, Monty, you back up, girl?
Yeah, I don't know how much you heard of that. I had a call come in.
Okay. Just start from the beginning, okay?
Yeah, I said, well, it's 8:45 p.m. It's been a lovely warm day. I've had a relaxing day. I've done my woosas today. And I did a little bit of my Tai Chi, so I don't have to snatch any bitches today. And I'm good.
You have to center sometimes. We have to get back centered, you know?
Yeah.
I'm glad
I'm
you're doing.
centering myself with love today because there are no thumbnails that are going to make me lose my ish. So I'm at peace today. I'm well and it is well. And
That's
that's
so
all
good.
I'm saying.
That's good to hear, girl. I'm glad because you know, child, we had us a day yesterday. We had to go to sleep and drink some water and you know pray and stretch and get back right. But Mama Warrior's here too. She's gonna go ahead and do her intro before we get into the housekeeping. She want to say hello to everybody. So, wow. Hey, Mama. Hey there. Hello, everyone in the chat, Asher, and everybody in the chat, our royal supporters. We thank you for being here with us as always. And Mama Warrior just wants to give a small apology to my supporters for yesterday. Yesterday was a very ugly day for Mama Warrior. Mama Warrior had to get a message across, let her anger barometer go up to 100, and said some pretty profane things. So I want to apologize to those who support us. And to those I addressed, the message stays the same. I could have done it in another form,
but unfortunately, anger comes to us all, and we all struggle with sin. And yesterday, that sin came and struggled with me. And I had to get on my knees and pray last night, and I prayed this morning. And I just blessed God for another day to be alive. It's a wonderful day. I'm having a beautiful day. Today is another day. And I'm doing fabulous. I'm feeling well, and I'm hoping everyone else is blessed and having a beautiful day as well. And just want you guys to know, my supporters, that we love you. We bless you. And Mama Warrior's all right, y'all. And Mama Warrior's okay. I'm still here with you. I'm still here with you.
Okay,
So
Mom.
that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Well, we
Yeah,
can
Mama
go.
Warrior struggled with sin yesterday, and sin definitely won, and I applauded it. I'm sorry, but it had to be said. There you go.
And thank y'all for who understand, right? And they get it. But I'll get into a little bit more of that on my housekeeping. But I'll let you go ahead and start with your housekeeping, Imani, and then I'll chime in after. Imani, you can unmute.
Sorry. Today
It's
really is just, um, you know, I know they say your greatest act of strength is not fighting back, but sometimes people need to be told and they need to be cussed, and it will happen when people need to get right. So, I'm not apologizing for what I said because what was said about us was outrageous, and I make no apologies for my reaction. But there are times you need to step away and protect your peace. And this is what we've been trying to do. And we're not going to explain ourselves to people over and over again. They see what we do, they see how we act, they see the content we make. It's these others that need to check themselves whilst, you know, dragging people through the mud and making misstatements. However, you know, sometimes growth makes other people uncomfortable. And you may notice the distance, the silence, or the changes in how people respond to you. But, not every reaction is a rejection. Sometimes we are resisting your demonic spirits and your behavior. And we don't want it. And we don't care for it. We want unity, we want love, and we want peace. And if you don't want that, stay in your toxic corners and do you. But don't bring it over here because you will get served with what you deserve if you come back here. But sometimes we have to use our wisdom. We don't have to make ourselves smaller. Nobody needs to make themselves smaller to make other people comfortable. We don't need everyone's approval to know our own worth. Our progress, it might be invisible. We might not have that many numbers, but we're doing what we love and we like. We're bringing the content that we want, how we want it. And if you don't like it, you don't need to come over here. You don't need to troll here. We say, leave your weapons at the door. We don't care who doesn't get on with whom. We don't have any particular fights until people want to start attacking us. So, like the roots growing beneath the ground, some of the important growth happens when nobody sees it. And there are some lovely people out there with some great content. So go and support them. I'm going to call out some channels, and they are in some ways controversial, but guess what? I don't care. There are people that support us and we support them back. And if you want to support them, support them. If you don't want to support them, you don't have to go and look at their content. Just stay in your toxic corner and do your toxic ish all day, every day. We just don't care. We're not going to become bitter. We're going to become wiser. We're going to collaborate where we can. We're going to help where we can. And we're going to support where we can. And we're not going to allow yesterday to imprison us. We're going to forgive ourselves for the things we did before. And we know what we know today. We're going to let discipline carry us when motivation disappears. And we're going to try and be consistent in shaping the future that we want for ourselves and our kids. And when we want to walk away from people, stay away. Stay away, because walking away isn't weakness, it's an act of courage. And we are choosing long term peace over short term comfort. We're aligning ourselves with people with the same values, and we have self respect and we respect others and their choices. We don't care about other people's choices. They can do what they want because karma has no expiry date, people. And there's going to be a lot of exposure going forward. So watch this space. And not responding to every silly accusation, but the ones that we feel we need to respond to, we will. And we don't need to win arguments. We don't need to have beefs. You can keep that beef because I don't eat red meat. Yeah. We're not going to chase everyone that misunderstands us. Silence isn't surrender. Sometimes it's wisdom, especially we know when we know our truth can stand on its own and the right thing is already being handled by the creator. Trust me. So we're going to become kinder without being weaker. We're going to remain hopeful without ignoring the realities. There's a lot of stuff on out there. And we're going to grow stronger without losing our compassion and protect our peace without losing ourselves. And sometimes we just got to let some people go in that journey. And we're going to keep moving forward. So thank you for joining us today. We love you guys. You guys in the chat, some of you in the bushes, some of you haters. Keep hating. We just don't give a flying beep about what you think. But if you come for us, and if you come for us with defamation, it will be met legally. Trust me. But thank you for joining us today. Keep winning, everybody, and stay unified and support whoever you want to. And some of the people I'm going to shout out are, I see Ralph's out there still doing his stuff. Kimmy Love, those guys have got legal stuff going on. Cultivate with Kai, We the People, Unwind with Teddy, Mel's World, Star, Blueberry, Dropping the Tea, Lacey, Split Media. If there's anybody else I've forgotten, please let me know. People got good music out there. Please support Mama Warrior as well. Golden Golden Queen Music. What's happened to Goody? I haven't seen Goody for a while because I was loving her music and some of her drags as well. Yeah, just keep winning, keep unified. And I see Maggie's got a weird title in her live tonight that she's leaving the black tea sector. That looks interesting. So yeah, just keep moving forward and ignore the haters and the chaos agents. Trust me, karma is coming. I see there's a lot of cleanup on channels as well. I wonder why. But hey, but yeah, that's it for me.
Excellent housekeeping per usual, Imani. Mama actually had a little bit of housekeeping she wanted to do, but before she get into it, I just want to go ahead and ring the bell, child. Ring the bell. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway, no, we have positive things we bring in today, y'all. So anyway, Mama has her housekeeping, then I'll get into mine. Go ahead, Mom.
Yes, darlings. I just wanted to add, Mama Warrior wanted to add, the message that I gave yesterday stands to the people that I addressed my message to. May have came out a little harsh, but I don't care about that. I'll just make sure that you got the message. I hope you got the message. And that means to stay out of our house. Don't try to bring trash over here in our house. We don't bring trash to nobody else's house, so don't bring that nonsense over here. So that message stays the same. And I want to also say that we really should be looking for love, peace, and tranquility We strive to look for that, but we often get just the opposite of that. And that's something that we really need to go for. It's love, peace, and tranquility. And I just wanted to make sure you understood that my message stands clear. My message is still the same. It has not changed. And I hope that you will adhere to it. And we can, you can go on and do your thing, and we can go ahead and do our thing. Hopefully, and hopefully we don't have to revisit this again. And so I just wanted to add that. Okay. All right then.
Excellent housekeeping, Mom. We're just gonna ring the bell, you know.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Housekeepings, housekeepings.
housekeeping, housekeeping.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Child. Sometimes you gotta bring laughter
And
to
you
your
gotta
life.
laugh.
You
You
gotta
have to
be
laugh
positive.
in this world.
You gotta laugh and be positive. So let me
Yeah.
just go ahead and get my housekeeping out the way so we can get into the daggone content that the people came for. Okay, but anyway, y'all, happy Saturday, okay? And yes, we are going to be reading from ChatGPT. So I've structured the things that I'm going to say. I type them up and I get, these AI tools or whatnot to assist me in presenting some of my content. So yes, I will be reading from ChatGPT.
At least you can read.
Oh yeah. And pronounce words correctly. And spell them too.
No, stop.
And spell
We're
them.
supposed to be positive today.
Yes,
I
that is
just
positive.
wanted to ring the
Grab
bell.
a dictionary.
But anyway, so
It's either we make jokes or I start doing my neck stretches.
We're really having a ball
Yo.
today. We are happy. And I just want to say that I love you, Imani. You are one of a golden jewel of a family member. I say friend, but you're more of a family member. And I want to tell my daughter how much I love her and I love my grandson. And I'm just feeling great today. And I think it comes a time when we need to tell each other that we love one another. And I just wanted y'all to know that how much I do love you guys.
all right, let me be
And I
serious,
love
y'all.
you all in the chat as well. And I love you guys. Love you guys. Love you all in the chat.
Yes.
And
We
yeah,
appreciate y'all. Yeah,
Yes, we do.
for sure, for sure. But let me be serious so we can get through this.
Yeah, we have to get to the live at some point here.
I'm just clowning today.
hold on. Can I just answer Asha? Asha, I
Sure.
think I might get prosecuted if I mention a spelling test because that's a threat.
Oh God, help
I'm
us,
on
Lord.
probation. I'm on probation at the moment.
Help us, Jesus.
I cannot.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't stop laughing.
All right.
Okay, y'all. All right, come on, pull it in. Let's pull it in, guys. Let's pull it in. Come on,
Get it together. Get it together.
Get back in the
Get it
car. Get back in the car.
back in the car. Okay, I'm gonna get back in the car.
Okay,
All right, here we go. Ooh, Lord, help me, Lord. Okay, so at the end of the day, we are all human, and every single day requires a choice. We can choose to uplift or we can choose to destroy. We also have the choice and the absolute right to stand up, speak out, and defend ourselves when people launch personal attacks, misrepresentation of your character, or go below the belt. Then it starts to get serious. This hits especially deep when we look at our own history and our current political reality. As a people, not just Black people, but all races of people, we have seen this through history, this story play out for generations, being divided against each other, competing instead of building, and selling each other out for temporary table scraps. We let jealousy and manipulation tear us down, getting played by system operators and political puppets who rely on staying fractured. Historically, every time we build real power, internal division gets weaponized, and it has to stop. Understanding history and politics means recognizing that unity isn't just a nice idea, it is a survival tactic. Standing up to nonsense doesn't mean that you've lost your way. What is truly in your heart, how you treat people daily, and how you carry yourself overall, that is the true measure of your character. Defending your dignity when pushed doesn't diminish your light. We are going to keep standing firm in who we are. We will continue to break down the politics, honor the history, spread real knowledge, and still make space for positivity, love, and a few good laughs. We don't claim to be better than anyone. We just choose to move with integrity and power. Those who truly know the movement and stand in genuine truth will, will always get it. So, y'all, let's just get into the show.
Yeah, let's get started.
Sorry, did I mention dropping the tea's channel as well? Dropping the tea. Go support her. Go support everybody. Did I say Blueberry as well?
Yeah,
Star.
and when
I can't remember. You guys have got me all discombobulated.
Yeah,
Spell that one.
what
and
I'm gonna
Slips.
do is I'm gonna type up a list and I'm gonna keep updating the list, like just about every day, every other day. So that way when we do our shout outs or whatnot to show support to other content creators and channels, we can just go right down the list because sometimes we may forget or leave somebody out and it's not purposely done. There's so many great ones that there's so many to remember, right? But yeah, shout out to, Lacey and
With all
Split,
the shits
um,
and
you
Slip.
know,
Mhm.
Ralph the Wise.
Right.
There's so many
So
people on
many.
this
Yeah.
platform that are doing great content
So
and
many.
unique content as well. Like none of
Hmm.
us really do the same thing and we don't do it the same way. And
Hmm.
I think that's the beauty that you can have a variety, right? And I think a lot of people appreciate that when they come to listen to certain content, certain channels and shows. They get a variety of what they can pick and choose from. And I also want to make this very clear as well. Like I say every time, if I tend to have a issue with another content creator or someone, I don't want anybody to feel that they're no longer welcome here. As long as it's respectful and it's like you're not, on one energy one day and then come over here and then I see you was on that energy and then I'm like, yo, what's up with that? But we might even can talk it through. It's fine. But for the most part, I know a lot of people just support and they like to watch a lot of different content creators. And so they go to a lot of different channels.
And you
And
should be
that's
able
very
to.
much okay, here with us. That you should be able to do that. You've grown. You can go where you want to go. You can watch what you want to watch and support who you want to support. And I don't want you to take your support from someone just because I've had a personal encounter or fallout with that person. It's not your fight. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no issue with that person, and you should not have to be stuck in the middle and be felt to make a choice, unless you just really don't like us. So if that's the case, then that's okay. But for anyone who feels like their back is against the wall or they feel like they have to choose or pick a side or in the middle some way, I just want y'all to know over here on this channel it's not like that. So y'all don't have to choose or pick a side or anything like that. Like we can support multiple people. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about it. Imani?
Yeah, I was just going to say, because I've been watching Cultivate with Kai and Mel's panel discussions, and they've been having some really good panel discussions about different things, about relationships, about stuff that's going on out there. And it's not just about the tea sector. So there's a lot of people doing a lot of different stuff who don't get highlighted. And you need to go out and see what people are doing because some of it is beneficial and some of it is good stuff. It's good content and it's not just about dragging people and trying to bring people down. There's a mix and match out there. Go out there and just discover what people are doing. The only thing I say is when you come here, leave your weapons at the door. We don't want no fighting. We don't want to hear about anybody's previous discussions and fights. This is not the place for it because this is not what we do. We just want people to enjoy the content and have a good time and walk away maybe with something they've learned. This is what we're trying to do, and we're trying to bring to further this message of unity that Ralph has been talking about for over a year. He was the one who was out there trying to promote unity. Let's just be clear from the moment he came over there. Unify, unite, collaborate. So let's keep that message going. Those who don't want to do it, let them stay where they are. Go out and talk to people. You never know. There are things people might want to do together that you might both have the similar interests. That's what it's about. Let the ones who want to drag and fight and kick people down do what they're doing. It's not for us.
Exactly, Imani. But let's go ahead and get into the content, y'all. We don't want to hold you up for too long. So this is the part 2 of our live discussion that we had yesterday with Celebrity Gossip with Purpose. And we're picking up right where we left off on both interviews, moving past the surface chat that they were discussing and diving into the deepest gems and the deepest parts of the lives. So what we'll be getting in today, number 1, is Whoopi Goldberg speaking on relationships, boundaries, and personal autonomy. She did have a sit down with Keke Palmer, so shout out to Keke Palmer. If y'all have not checked out her platform, you should. Whoopi shifts the conversation from career hustle to how she strictly guards her personal life and physical space. So today on part 2, we will be breaking this down. The reality of cohabitation and space. Whoopi gets candid about why living in the same house with a romantic partner doesn't fit her lifestyle. She explains that she loves her independence and interrupted personal space too much to share a roof. I'm happy for you to be at your house. I don't need you in my house. That's what she says, quotes. Also, she talked about self-reliance and fulfilling your own needs, pushing back against the societal pressure that women must compromise themselves to keep a relationship. Whoopi shares her straightforward, humorous philosophy on intimacy and self-reliance, emphasizing that your happiness should never depend on someone else fulfilling you. Standing in your fullness without apology. Keke and Whoopi explore what it means to step in a room or relationship as your whole self without dimming your light to make others comfortable. Whoopi shares how ignoring public judgment and internet commentary allows her to live freely on her own terms. And so, y'all know, per usual, we got a video. And so, we're going to go ahead and get that popped up. While I'm getting that set up real quick, Imani, did you have a few more things you want to add?
No, we're starting at the 30-minute mark, aren't we?
Yeah, 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
StreamYard is really lagging. It's so annoying to me. Because it takes like double as long to like just get one small thing popped up. But anyway, it's okay. We get it done anyway, y'all. All right, so let's get it up here real quick. Let me put my disclaimer. All right, y'all, let's get into it. And y'all know, per usual, we'll meet you over in the chat as we listen together. And we're starting from where we left off yesterday. So if y'all didn't see the part 1, we'll give you a little update about some of the things talked about on part 1. But we won't push forward with this. So let's get into it, and we'll be right over.
Quote, I always say it from Mother Teresa, no great things can be done, just small things with great love. So it's perspective is always I'm always looking for the perspective that helps me to see my way out of something, you know? What is something that your family knows about you that you feel the public maybe still doesn't get or doesn't understand?
Oh, so much. So much.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah. I am, by every definition, a lot. My outfits are a moment. My reactions are gag. I've been called dramatic in 3 different group chats this week alone.
Job.
You know what I mean?
I needed a job. Barbara offered me a job.
You know what I mean?
I need. The public gets me.
Yeah.
They don't always like me, but they get me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting seeing you on The View.
Yeah.
And you're constantly, what made you even want to get on that show?
Because I needed a job.
You know what I mean?
I needed a job. Barbara offered me a job. She said, we just lost one of the people on the show. Would you consider coming over? And I had been doing a radio show.
Yeah.
And I said, Absolutely, yeah. And so she brought me over, and it's like I've been crazy glued to that chair.
Oh my gosh. What do you love about it? Because I mean, first of all, the show is called...
I love the check.
I can only imagine what that check is.
No,
it's
you
fabulous.
Can't. No, trust me. You can't.
I love that.
You would be shocked. Listen, you would be shocked.
Welcome to The View. I can play her, guys. No.
Yeah, but as soon as they showed you that check, you'd be like, what the?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I love it. Praise God. Praise God.
It is what it is.
But you are always bringing it. Like, you could phone it in, but you're always having a POV. You're always giving your view. And sometimes that puts you on the front lines of being attacked or praised. Mm-hmm. But you've been doing it forever. So what do you say is the way that you maintain, that kind of visibility?
I look around every day before I leave my house, and I see my family, and I see pictures of folks, and I think, oh, yeah, it's good to have a job. And I come to work.
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day,
a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have jobs right now. So I'm lucky. I like to talk. I like talking about stuff. I like people. And I'm okay with what I think I believe, and I don't mind doing that. And even when it irritates people, it's not what the show is. It's not irritation necessarily, but it is called The View.
Yeah,
so,
because your mind.
Yeah.
I'm curious, because every comedian that people that consider a comedian or comedic actor, or someone that jokes, is always very intellectual. They have it's always so much more than what the joke is presented. Mm-hmm. And so it just makes me ask to you, why do you think comedy is very rarely seen in the same prestige of drama? Meaning, like, I think about the Academy Awards and I think about the character work that comes with some of these things that we just consider a silly comedy. And I just wonder why does it not, it's so hard to make somebody laugh, and it's so hard to take a real situation and make it funny.
I think it's because it's subjective. What you like doesn't necessarily go with what I like. Like, I loved that the two Academy Award winners this year were in horror movies.
I feel similarly about horror.
Love my horror movies.
Yes, because genre, it gives comedy and horror are a similar touch point of helping you it penetrates you in a way for you to take something deep in.
Well, it's this, it's all one thing. It's all one thing. It's your emotion. It's just your emotions. But I like the thrill that I get from something like The Exorcist.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I just really like that. And so watching Michael B. portray two people.
That was so good, that movie.
And win. I
was thrilled.
It's like, come on. And Amy Madigan.
That weapons role.
Baby.
Talk about character.
Yes.
That lady was jump scare on the screen.
And she is.
Shout out to Ed Harris.
Good an actor as you can find. Ed's fabulous, but Amy is no joke.
Come on. Talk about range, Uncle Buck.
Hello.
You remember that one?
Yes.
Yes.
It is just, it's like they used to say comedies never win, but then Cher won.
Yeah.
And then I won.
Yeah.
So it's subjective.
Yeah, it's something that I always think about because I just love comedy. But speaking of your characters, how many, and just what we've been talking about carving your lane out, how many of your roles were written for you where they were like, hey, this...
Two. Color Purple.
That Color Purple. Damn, that was so...
It was great. Yeah, Menno Mayers wrote that, and he wrote that with me in mind,
I
which
just
was great.
Can't with you, Whoopi, because it's just too much. When I think about you and your work, it is like seeing so many different people. It's like actually brand new people. The fact that person is the same person in Ghost, and that's the same person as Sister.
I would like to think that one of my favorite actors would be very happy to hear you say that, Marlon Brando. Because people would say,
Yeah, amazing.
You know, you go to see the movie, you see Marlon was in it, you see him for a second, and then he disappeared into the character. That's what I want. That's what I want. And so, you know, when I was, when they were casting Ghost, I found out about it because somebody came to lunch at my house and said, girl, I just been at this audition. Every Black woman and their mama was there. They got women out the grave to come and audition for this. And I hadn't gotten a call.
Out the grave.
Out the grave. I mean, it was wonderful. Beverly Todd. It was Beverly Todd. She said, they came out the grave. And I said, what movie is this? So she tells me, I said, oh, she said, you haven't heard? I said, no, nobody said anything. And then after we finished having lunch and stuff, I thought, well, let me just call my agent and see, did I miss it?
Yeah,
or you called me and I blew it off or what? I said, do you know about this movie that every Black woman, and I heard him just go, oh, who told you? And I said, my friend Beverly Todd. He said, I said, what's the matter? He said, we suggested they didn't want you because they felt you would take people out of the movie. I said, how would I take them out of the movie? I mean, I don't understand. And they said, well, you know, and as it turns out, the casting director had been saying, you need to talk to Whoopi Goldberg. You need to talk to, and they wouldn't do it. And then they hired Patrick Swayze. And I was in Alabama shooting Long Walk Home with Sissy Spacek. And an AD comes and says, you have a phone call, so you have to run. Because in those days, there's no cell phone. So you got to walk all the way over to the office.
I'm howling.
Just, you know, and you pick it up and which line? Oh, you hit the line and say, hello. And it's my agent. He says, you remember that movie they didn't want you for? I said, yeah. He said, well, they hired someone and he's going to be the lead. And he wants to be in it with you if it interests you. I said, oh, okay. Do they know I'm down in Montgomery, Alabama? So yeah, they're willing to come down there. I said, who is it? He said, it's Patrick Swayze. It's Patrick Swayze and the director want to come down to see you. And I said, okay. So they came down and Patrick and I hit it off right away because he's just a really funny, wonderful man. And I love the director. And the next day after they left, because they literally flew in, we had some fun and did some improv and worked together. And the next day they offered me the part. And he kept saying, why haven't you called her? Did she turn it down? Does she not want to do it? They were like, and they finally had to say to him, no, we thought it would be too much for her to, it would just weigh it down in a way we didn't want it.
People are so crazy.
Well, you know,
All right, y'all. So we're gonna stop it right there for a quick commentary break. So wow, so much. Whoopi basically in this portion is talking about her experience and her journey being in Hollywood, being an actress, and we knowing like how great of an actress she has been, and just talking about the role, one of the most dynamic roles that I think a lot of people will probably know her from, The Color Purple, is a role that they did not want to give her because literally what she's saying is they thought that her light would shine too bright and probably overcast the rest of the actors and actresses on set in the entire movie in general, because I believe she's just that epic. And as you can see, they wanted her for the role. The ones who've seen it, such as the actor Patrick Swayze and the director, not necessarily the agents. And this is I think an important thing for people to understand and remember. Maybe you've experienced, maybe you haven't. I've never been someone who's needed an agent. But sometimes these agents and these managers and these people or whatnot, who are working supposedly for you, don't always fight the hardest for you, right? They just go along with whatever people say, and you can miss out on your star shot. And she was, like we talked about yesterday, a lot of the roles that she had. She was on the set of Long Walk Home, and Patrick Swayze and the director said, "Nah, we want Whoopi. We're gonna call her. We're gonna go see her, and she's gonna be in this movie." And that's how it all came about. So I just think that's really dope. Like, what God has for you is always for you. And it doesn't matter who gives you a no. It doesn't matter who doubts you. It doesn't matter who says, nah, I don't think so. If God has it for you, it's going to be for you and it's going to come to fruition. So that's, what I took, the lesson that I took from, her story journey. But what did you think about that, Imani? What's some things that stood out to you in this segment so far?
Well, one of the first questions I wanted to ask is, did Patrick Swayze save those pants from Dirty Dancing to bring onto the Ghost set?
Child, Patrick Swayze stayed in them
Oh yes.
pants.
Oh yes.
Child, you fine, okay? I ain't even gonna lie.
He is.
He is a good looking man back in the day.
Yeah.
But child, every time I see him pop out, he had them same black pants. He had them on in Roadhouse. He had them on in Ghost. He had them on,
He had them on in Dirty
he had them
Dancing
on
before
in
Ghost.
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty
Like,
dancing.
child, is this the same black pair of pants, or he just got a whole lot of black pair of pants? And they fit him so nicely.
Yes, they do.
Anyway, go ahead, girl.
Yeah, the only one he didn't have it on was the one where he acted with his brothers. I think they called kin. You know, where they unalived one of his brothers who went to the city, and all the brothers came to avenge. I don't know if you've seen that film. Can't remember what it's called. I don't
What's
know
about
whether it's
I
brother?
called.
I don't know, brothers. I don't remember seeing that one. But I guess we don't necessarily have to mention the movie he was in. He was wearing the dress. But anyway, outside of
Yeah.
that, fine and stuff with them black pants on. Hmm.
But no, she really is unapologetically herself, and I love the fact that she said what made when she asked her what made her take the view, she said the check.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
it
ain't
was.
even
Yes.
lied.
And you lie.
She didn't even lie about that. But yeah, she also talked about the fact that comedy deserves the same respect as dramatic acting, which I think is true. They're different skill sets, but they're both as entertaining. They both require the same amount of work. And she said she likes horror. Now we've had this discussion. I'm not a big horror fan, although I did like Ghost, and I wouldn't term that as, your archetypal horror film. But me, after seeing Omen and all those films on the devil, it's not my story. I'm not really a big horror fan. But you know, and the other thing she did say was talking about the fact that she had someone advocate for her because they didn't want her for that role in Ghost because they thought too much of a character would overtake it. And look how brilliant she was in that. And the fact that Patrick Swayze and and his team were advocating for her is the reason that she got it. And it was a great film. Make sure every time I hear about this, we do some of these reviews. It makes me want to go back and watch these films again. So yeah, it was a good film. I love that film. But yeah, she's very authentically herself, and and The Color Purple, which is a great book and a great movie that I saw. She was brilliant in that, like I said. And so was what's his name? Was it Danny Glover? He was
They
in that.
glow.
Danny
They
Glover.
own those
Yeah,
parts. Yeah, they did.
Danny
Yeah.
Glover. Mhm.
Yeah. And she's
And
what she's
Oprah
basically
Winfrey.
saying. Yeah, what she's basically saying is she's never tried to make herself smaller or more acceptable to other people. She's built her career about around being herself and allowing her work to speak for her. And that is a bar. She allows her work to speak for her. But yeah, it's great. Like I said, it's a great interview. Please go over and support Keke Palmer. She had some great guests. This is another great interview with some great tips on life and other stuff and work and being authentically yourself and letting your talent speak for you.
I absolutely agree, yo. I love me some Whoopi. And here's a little fun fact, right? The fact that she said that she loves horror, right? And you know I love horror. Child, I'll be trying to get you to listen and I'm not listening, watch horror movies, and you like, child, I don't be watching that. But one of my favorite old school shows is Tales from the Crypt. And I don't know if anybody else has ever watched or has watched or do watch, because you still can stream it right now, and I watch it recently, right? One of the things growing up that I didn't know is that she was on an episode of Tales from the Crypt. And I watched that just a few days ago. And on the episode from Tales from the Crypt that she was on, she played like a voodoo priestess, right? And it was a lot of stuff going on. I'm not gonna get all into it or whatnot like that, but it really just go to show, like, when she say that, she really means that. She like horror. And that show is hilarious to me. That little skeleton laughing and stuff and telling his little stories and dressing up in his little outfits. It's hilarious. It's like, it's comedy. It's not really horror, but the little dude is funny. But yeah, Whoopi is dope. She really is. And she's, like you said, she has the career that she has because she made the decisions and the choices that she did within her own life. Like, she don't do nothing that doesn't move her. She's not going to say yes to nothing that she doesn't want to do. And she just brings her full self, you know what I mean, to whatever it is that she does. And whatever she applies herself to, she engages fully in that role, that character, or whatever, and really bring it to life with only the skill set and the essence that she has. So, I really think she's open. I think she's very wise because, she's lived a lot of life. She sees a lot of things. She's been through a lot of things, I'm pretty sure. Probably some things she don't even speak on and talk about. But I think she can give us a lot of, insight about just life, period. Not just being an actress, not just being in Hollywood, but just how to navigate through life and get to, a place in your life and an age in your life where you don't allow people to like shift your energy. You don't allow people to judge you. You don't allow what people say to affect you. Like, it's really, she seems to really have honed in on her chi. We'll just say that. But did you have a few things you want to add before we get into the rest of the video?
No, what about Mama? Mama, what do you think?
She had to step away for a minute and take a phone
Oh,
call. So she said, just go ahead. So she'll be back.
okay. Okay.
Okay.
No, I've got
Get back.
nothing more to add. Let's move on with the video.
All right. Okay.
I guess they thought, I don't know what they thought.
They don't either.
But the casting director, who I love, and I'm kicking myself because I don't have her name at hand. But she had been my champion all the way through. And when they finally hired me, she said, "You see, I told you."
Another story of you advocating for yourself, though. What happened with Sister Act?
Which one?
You getting into the role.
It was for Bette. They wrote that for Bette Midler. That wasn't mine.
How did you get up there and take that lady movie?
I didn't take it. I was looking for work.
Crazy.
I was looking for work, and everybody always has
the. I was looking for work.
Well, but it's true because apparently I'm Black.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't realize it.
Okay.
So every time I went looking for something, they were like, "Oh no, this isn't for you." So I said to my agents, "Give me all the stuff that people have turned down." So I got Burglar that way because that was Bruce Willis's movie. Jumpin' Jack Flash was Shelley Long's movie. There's a whole bunch of movies. I got.
Hey y'all, call it. What's the Jennifer Lawrence didn't want? Yeah, send it to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I felt like people really wanted to make those movies, and then the person they wanted said, "No, let me see what I could do." That's why I loved when you said, you did this and this and this, and it was always different people. I was always the character that was written. And I think because people 30 years ago, 40 years ago, had a limited idea of what could be done.
Yes.
And had a limited idea of what I could do, because clearly they hadn't seen my show. So they didn't know. So I did them. And, listen, they didn't always work at the box office, but when they got on television, people lost their minds because people didn't always have money to go see the movie.
Yeah.
But they could see it on TV. And that's how we got a lot of my movies have become these kind of classics because people went, oh, that's what that was about?
Mine as well. Even this early, even the first Akilah B, a lot of people think about Akilah B as this iconic classic hit, tanked in the box office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a success. That's why this whole thing with success and to me, real impact is truth, consistency over time. Visibility is not always a part of that. Everybody might not be talking about you all the time, but the work stands the test of time.
There you go. That's it.
You are the first woman and Black woman to host the Oscars solo, 1994. The first Black woman to achieve EGOT status.
Right.
The first Black woman to win a Grammy for Best Comedy Recording. The first Black person to score Academy Award nominations in acting and supporting acting categories. The first Black woman to receive the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. The list goes on and on and on. And people often, obviously, bring up these things when they say your name. And I just wonder from you, does it really resonate? Like when you hear that and think about everything that you've done, what flashes in your mind? How do you view?
You really want to know?
Yes.
Baby, this is Keke Palmer, yeah.
I've said it. I've heard it. We all know the saying, you need to go see that lady. And sometimes mesmerizing. I don't know where this is going, but I'm not asking questions. Unlock your best summer memories with the Tropical Butterfly Refresh.
I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always translate into...
You better speak the truth about this.
Yeah. It doesn't always translate into work or people... it's nice that I have all those things, but do I constantly have to say to people, I'd like to work with you? Yeah, because I don't come right up in your mind. I'm not the first one you think of. So I constantly say to people, yes, I'm still open for this. And especially now, because people say, well, you're on The View. You can't do anything. If I need to go, I go.
Okay.
If I need to go.
Yeah. But
she'll tell you.
It's interesting because we have these concepts of traditionalism and what is most prestigious. And a lot of times people get wrapped in that. Well, because you are an Oscar-nominated actor, you can't do this and blah, 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 blah. Would you even, and then you're talking about paying the bills and money. I mean, would you say The View is the best paying job you've had over the course of all the things you've done?
No.
Oh, it isn't? Okay.
No.
Okay, now that's T.
No.
But I bring it up to just say that I think a lot of times we assume that what we think is the most prestigious or what we think is the most dope for our title also resonates to what we're receiving in our pocket.
No, the truth of the matter is very few of us are actually making the kind of money you're reading about.
I know.
It's just, that's just the way it is. And people always do wink, wink. And I'm like, no wink, wink. Because if I had that kind of money and I love my job, I don't know that I'd still be doing it.
Yeah. That's a good question.
I don't know that I'd still be doing the show. But a girl's got to eat. And, I never married well. So I still have to support myself.
Yeah, period.
Yeah.
It's so real. Me too. I ain't married, but I don't know how it'll go if I do.
Well, just always remember that it's important that you marry somebody that you like, who makes you happy and will annoy the hell out of you, but that you always make sure you have what you need. Also, it's no put down on your husband or your wife or whatever, wherever your mind is, but you always have to have your little portion of the sky.
Yes.
This is the hell with it money. That's not what I was going to call it, but I'm not sure how far you can go with the words. So
okay.
This is your hell with it money. You must always have your own hell with it money.
My mom always told me this.
Yes, it is very important. It's important for your own well-being because somebody said this to me years ago. It's all fun and games when people say, yeah, that man has to have this, he has to have that, he has to have this. But what happens if he dies and all his money goes to his other family or his kids or to his mother or whatever? You have to have yours. You have to have yours so you can survive no matter what happens. And that has always stayed with me. Always stayed with me. Make sure you take care of what you got to take care of for yourself.
As an artist.
Yes.
And when we're constantly, because I'll say this for me. Not everything, but more often than not, I could see myself doing what I do for free. I love talking to people. I love performing. I love entertaining. All that's fun and that's enjoyable.
Yes.
But the reality is we have to eat. We have to, live our lives.
Yeah.
How does one? Because obviously the industry is never going to value you of your true value. No corporate, no industry ever could do so.
No.
So how do you measure your value? How do you know when it's time to ask for money and when it's time to actually the relationship is more important here and that might turn into something more? Like, what are the ways in which you know when maybe this job isn't going to be about the money, this job is going to be about the work? How do you measure it?
Well, I have friends who make movies and I do a little piece in their movie and say, I just did, you needed some, so I did it. And then there's the things where you say, listen, you want me to do this and this and this, and you only giving me this. That's not going to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be able to say, I need this. And you have to know, and you have to, you have to fight.
Yeah.
And you have to, put up with folks saying, well, I could get somebody else. You have to be able to say, all right.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And however they may take it.
Yeah.
I had a thing like that happen where I had to, step back and I, respectfully did so, but also knew, hey, it might affect the relationship. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is what's working for me.
Yeah. I mean, we're taught for some reason, or we have been taught, and we're still teaching people that there's something wrong with saying, I need you to pay me.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're not supposed to do that. But the truth of the matter is, you got stuff to do. Now, don't get me wrong, because I like the finer things in life, because I'm a bougie kind of girl.
Okay.
So I do make sure that my bouginess is taken care of.
Yeah.
But you must always ask for what you want. And sometimes you got to negotiate and you got to meet in the middle.
Yeah.
But it's up to you to say, this is what I need.
Mm-hmm.
And when they say yes or no, you say, okay, well, if this is where we are, here's where I am now.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think, in my mind, it's like that could go either way.
Yeah.
That could go either way.
Yeah.
Not wrong or right. Not necessarily right, I should say, but it is the cards that we're dealt as artists, as people, not even just as artists. This is my favorite quote from you.
Okay. Let's make sure it's one of my quotes. Because, there's a lot of quotes.
I hope this is, because this is one of my favorites. I don't want anybody in my house.
Yes, except it wasn't said like that.
Okay, y'all, we're going to pause it right there because they're getting ready to get into, the next portion of the conversation about the I don't want anybody in my house. But before they leave and go on to that conversation, I did want to add a little bit more commentary to what they were talking about. As far as basically what we were saying and what Keke asked her, how do you basically make your decisions as far as when it comes to your work? Because one of the things, I guess, and it's not just, let's keep it real. It's not just when it comes to actors and actresses where you have to negotiate and know your worth and what you bring to the table at a workplace, right? And just like Asher was saying, you know what I mean? It's a regular job, right? This is a job. Being an actor or actress, it's a regular job. It's on a big screen, and, I guess it could be on a grander scale, but even some actors and actresses don't make the same amount of money that other people make that work in different career fields, right? And so it's not the epitome and the end all be all. And so us as people, we understand that, when you get out in the work field, um, especially if you've had your schooling, especially if you know that you have all of the things to bring to the table to perform the job the best. You got to jump through a lot of hoops and stuff sometimes, and hold your place in line just to even get through the door and get the position. And then once you get it, now you got to prove yourself, right, continuously. And we know that can be harder, and I hate to say it, but that can be harder sometimes based off of your skin color and your race. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But it does kind of tie in to a lot of what they're talking about in this interview, because Whoopi is clearly saying that she had that experience, right? And we can't say that experience was because whatever it was the people were thinking or feeling, right? Either she's too great, she's too big of a name, or because she's just black, right? We can't be sure what they were thinking. I'm pretty sure she knew. She felt the energy, right, in the room or the casting room or on the phone calls and things like that when, looking for work. And she seemed very humble and down to earth, where she was just like, yo, basically, I just am looking for work. I need a job. That's it. And this is just happens to be what I do for a living, and this is the field where I'm searching for a job within, being an actress, or a host or whatever, a persona, a personality, someone who is going to come and speak to the public and all of those things. um and with her journey and her experience and the things she's talking about, it's a lot of things that I think a lot of us can relate to, right? And a lot of the major things overall that, because we're wrapping up this segment, because she's going to go into some deeper things now when it comes to relationships and marriages and cohabitating and things like that. So we'll get into that in just a minute. But we know when it comes to the workplace, it is not easy, right? It's not easy. You could have the biggest degree, you could have, the most on your resume, these great places you work for on your resume. But a lot of times when you walk through those doors, it's like someone's on the other side saying yay or nay. And there's a lot of times where there's nothing you can do about it. And earlier in the part one on our live that we did yesterday, they talked a little bit more about betting on yourself, right? And being more so independent when you know what you bring to the table and what you can offer. You don't have to wait around for somebody to give you a yes. You just go out, you do what you do it well, and the show goes on. You know what I mean? But that's enough for me. Imani, what did you think about this segment? Mama's still on a phone call.
Yeah, let's just talk about her accolades. First of all, she's the first black woman to get EGOT status. That means she's won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. And she got the Grammy for Broadway, her original Broadway recording in 1986. She got the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Ghost, playing Oda Mae Brown. She got an Emmy for Beyond Tara, which was about the extraordinary life of Hattie McDaniel. And she got a Tony for Thoroughly Modern Millie, which she produced and won Best Musical. And she's the first black woman to host the Oscars solo. I mean, she's got some really, really good accolades out there. That's
Remember,
what we.
she also played Emmett Till's grandmother in the movie Till. We talked about that in the part one yesterday. That was a
Yeah,
that was a great
yeah.
role. I thought that was an excellent movie.
And the other thing that she was really good is her approach to work is that she asked agents for projects that other actors had rejected. So Sister Act, I didn't realize Sister Act was created for Bette Midler, who turned it down. So she didn't try and make Hollywood create opportunities for her. She looked for opportunities that already existed. And some of the films they didn't perform greatly at the box office, but they became classics. And so, she makes the distinction about the difference between visibility and having a lasting impact. Because although they may not have been box office blowouts, they are lasting classics that people remember. And
Right.
and those accolades, as she said, don't pay your rent, don't pay your mortgage. And I liked her conversation about money, because I remember, you know, I worked in corporate, and I remember working with someone who had come from he'd come from a very wealthy background, and he said, my philosophy on wages is, at some point, he said, my father told me at some point I should be earning more than my age. So when I get to 40, I should be earning way more than 40,000. And my philosophy, I remember telling one of my bosses, because he used to tell me, oh, you know, we're going to promote you to this and that. And I'd look at the pay rise. And I said to him, I don't care what you call me. I care what you pay me. Because for me, it didn't matter whether I was a director or an assistant director or whatever the title they want to give you. If the money didn't pay my bills, and it is about paying your bills. And she talks about financial independence, because she says, you know, even if you are in a loving relationship, what happens if that person passes and you don't have the insurance and you can't pay the taxes, as we heard from Roy Wood yesterday about his father passing away and the tax bill that came afterwards that made them lose their house. You know, she was saying that you have to have money of your own, and she credits her mother with teaching her about financial security. But because relationships do change, but got to you still got to take care of yourself. You still got to be able to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter what happens. You got to be able to finance, to manage your finances. And she tells artists that you have to know your value, and that goes for anybody in any industry. You have to know your value. You got to know your worth, and you got to be able to negotiate. And but sometimes there may be a reason to do a project, and it's not just about the money. um, but that has to be a conscious decision. It's really not about the money. But yeah,
Right.
I thought this was really good. Really good thing about financial stuff, knowing your worth and knowing your value.
I agree. And one of the things that I said in the chat or not, because I know Asher was making a lot of great comments as well. That's something that my grandma told me as well, like very young on. As a woman, you got to make sure you got your own, right? Because you can't be sure what may happen in life, right? And you may think you're with this man, with this husband, in this relationship, and that you're going to be good. You got to make sure you got your own money and your own stability, so if things do happen to go south or whatnot, you can still stand up on your own 2 feet, right? And that's in a relationship. They're going to get into some relationship stuff here in the next segment of the live, but they did touch on that a little bit. And that is something my grandmother taught me, and it's something sometimes I think a lot of us get taught, but sometimes we lay by the wayside. When you fall in love, right? You fall in love, you find this person that you think, is your end all be all, and you'll be together forever, and you'll always want to have each other back until, life may turn that stuff upside down, and it's not like that. And you didn't plan accordingly. You let your guard down. So I think that's a big thing that does happen to a lot of women when it comes to being in relationships and stuff like that. You really just gotta like have your own on the side as well. And even when you merge what you have in the relationship with who you're with, you still have to make sure that you're not putting out too much of it and still sliding a little bit of something to the side for you in case things, kind of fall through. And that's something that, I have failed to do, even though my grandmother taught me that. And yeah, it's something you pull. I mean, you get back up on the horse. You know what I'm saying? It don't end your life, but it's just if you have made better decisions and planning, when it comes to those things, you won't have to go through certain things, right? You won't have to get back up on the horse as quickly as you do if you already had things in place. And as far as the workplace, of course, right? um People, no matter what race, but we know especially when it comes to the black race and black and brown people, that in the workplace, it's always a challenge, no matter what career set you're in. And, you look at actresses and actors and celebrities and stuff like that in Hollywood, and you think they have an easy time navigating that space, but they go through the same things that we go through at our regular workplaces or, regular jobs and stuff as well. Sometimes they want you, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they believe or they think that you can do the job, and a lot of times they don't. And some of the times they think that you can't do it is because of what you look like and because of what race you are. And even if you put your credentials and your resume through, they may just want somebody that looks a little bit different to represent that position and hold that position in that space. So you fight against all of these things. And as we are seeing, it's not just us, and I would say, I guess we just regular everyday people with regular jobs and careers and stuff like that. Because, they see it as a difference when it comes to celebrities. But how Whoopi speaks is like she just basically is saying, nah, it's a job. You know what I'm saying? Like we all out here just trying to have a job, a career, and work. And what I have noticed a lot of times when it comes to actors and actresses is that they have to literally get a job. Every assignment, every role is another workplace and another job. They go through jobs quicker than we do. A lot of us work on jobs 20, 30 years and get our retirement. Actors and actresses, every assignment that they get, every role that they get, every movie that they on, every set that they on, that's a different job. So they're constantly moving and pushing to get another job and another job and another job and another job. And you got to think, like, that's a lot of work. A lot of people get one good job with good benefits and stuff like that. Us as regular people in the regular world and these regular positions and stuff that we get, you feel comfortable and cushioned, right? Because you can be on a job, and as long as you're performing well, and if the pay is good enough and you're able to pay your bills, you stay on that job 20, 30 years on that one job. These actors and actresses literally go through jobs like underwear, if you ask me. And, I just feel like, it's got to be even more stressful for them because now they always have to prove themselves to another employer each and every time. And I just think that can be a heavy weight to carry. So, they can be under more stress and things and whatnot than what a lot of people, allude or believe, because they think just because they're on our TVs where we watch them, they don't see the grind or the hustle and bustle that they have to go through to even be on that TV screen for us to see. So, it kind of lets you see the human in celebrities. It lets you understand that, they're living a human experience too. Sometimes probably even, more things that they got to go through than we even have to go through. But because we see, oh, well, they have the money, they have the houses, they have the cars, they have the fame, they're on the TV, that they're doing better than us and their life is easier than ours. But based off of what Whoopi is saying, it sounds like it's a big struggle to me. So, that's what I got from it. Imani, you have a few more things you say before we want to play a little bit more and then get into the next video?
No, nothing more to say. Let's play a little bit more.
What was it said? I don't want anybody. What was
No,
it trying to do?
I said I didn't want to live with anybody.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't want to live with anybody.
So why do people get all? So I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, I live with my sisters and obviously my son. That's one thing. You know what I mean? But why is it so crazy when women say stuff like that?
I think because people want you to believe that you need to be in a relationship.
Why do they want that though?
I don't know, but I am in a relationship with my family. They are enough. They drop their stuff everywhere. They do all the stuff that, I don't need that. I don't need somebody I kind of just met like 10 years ago or whatever. I don't need them in the house. I'm barely dealing with all the family in the house.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't live with me.
Yeah. I also feel like I love. I'm always open for love, platonically, romantically, hopeless romantic, all that kind of thing. But, and this is through obviously trial and error and experience, I just have realized that I don't value connection if it doesn't allow me to be my full self.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel in any relationship. And this is why I'm so grateful to have the family that I have. They let me be me. That doesn't mean I don't consider them.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm not respectful.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I don't center them when the moment calls for it.
Yeah.
But there is this idea, not everybody, right? But I think, majority is that love has to cost you. That there's this idea that in order to have true connection, your expression of your love, your expression of engagement is simply not enough.
Well, that's probably true. This is why I'm not interested
Yeah.
in relationship, because I don't want to have to think about you. I don't want to have to think about what your needs are, why you're upset. I don't want to have to answer questions about why you're mad at me. I'm happy for you to be at your house. I love a hit and run.
Okay.
I love a hit and run.
And also some of the things that you're mentioning in my mind, I wouldn't even put them on anybody else because that's my
yeah.
Whatever happened to, it's my duty to make sure that I'm happy. It's my duty to make sure that I'm okay. It's my duty to deal with,
Well, I wrote a book called If Someone Says You Complete Me, Run. Yes. Because that's not what I need from you. I don't need to complete you. I need to do me. And I need not to feel bad or to make myself less than in order to make you feel better.
Like it just doesn't make sense.
Well, it makes sense to lots of people because lots of people do that. Lots of people let themselves be diminished by their partner. And I don't think that's a good thing for anybody. This is one of the reasons for me that I don't mind being not attached.
Yeah.
I'm okay being not attached because I love lots of people. Lots of my friends. I love them to pieces. Maybe a couple here and there. but not, not that thing that, and I tried to be married several times. I tried to do it. I kept thinking I'm doing this wrong. And what I was doing wrong was trying to be not me, but what they wanted, the me they wanted me to be. And it was too, and I'm very cranky. So I get just very pissy, and then it's like, I can't do this anymore.
That's me too.
Yeah.
And that's me too. And I feel like, again, when I say the things I say, a lot of times people think that means that I'm not hopeful or that I'm being bitter or they put all these negative attributes to it. But I just love how you speak to these things, these conversations. Tracy Ellis Ross also speaks about it too, where why does a different ending than what you expected mean that it didn't work out?
Yeah.
Just because somebody likes being on their own doesn't mean that they don't like connection. It doesn't mean that they don't have connection.
Yeah.
It just means that there's a different way to live your life. And what if that is okay?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get married. It doesn't last. Why is that so?
Well, listen, anytime somebody tells you about getting married, you just remind them that Goldie Hawn and her husband, Kurt Russell, have had this magnificent relationship for years, and they didn't get married.
Yeah.
So it can work. It can work. It requires you to put the effort in if that's what you want,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I just love hearing that. And I love having those conversations so that I think other people need to be encouraged that it's okay. It's great to have love. We all love having sex, more of that. But, on the other side of that, it's just, there's so many other ways to fulfill your life too.
Well, yes. And don't forget, and you don't know this yet, but it will come to you at some point. Sex ain't everything. It lasts. It's wonderful while it's happening. But there has to be more to whatever you're doing than just that. Or just call it what it is, a hit and run. Hit and runs, as I said, are fantastic. But if you are going to involve yourself with someone, it should be in a wider scope. because they may not always be able to fulfill what you need. Does that mean the relationship is done? You know, so it's
Yeah.
girl, with
You
all
know
the
when
new
somebody-
toys that are out there, please. You get a toy.
I remember there was another good advice you had told me where you said, I don't know what I had said, maybe something like, they don't know how to please, something about pleasing. You was like, you must know how to please yourself
That's
first.
true.
I was like, that was right.
Yes.
You must know how to please yourself.
Because how can
first.
you
Like,
tell anybody else what to do if you don't know?
Girl, when you said that, I went to work that
There
night.
you go. See?
I want to play this game with you, but
Okay.
also want to mention that you've always been in the cannabis space, which I
Yes.
think is simply fabulous, whether it's, topicals for pain and
right.
just always pushing that. It's so great to see.
All right, y'all. So we'll pause it right there because they're about to get into another topic. But before they talk about that, I just wanted to touch on a little bit of, what we heard in this segment here about, relationships and stuff like that. So, Imani, I'll let you take the lead on this one, girl. What did you feel about this conversation in this segment? And what do you feel about relationships and stuff like that overall, just generally speaking?
Yeah, I think people have to do what works for them. Um, some people, I mean, I don't know how many marriages she said, but she's had failed marriages, she said, and she doesn't feel that living with a partner is fulfilling for her. Um, and it is important to remain your true self in a relationship. I mean, in my opinion, I think however your dynamic is, um, you know, Whoopi was talking about trying to become what other people wanted her to be in her previous relationships. But she says being single doesn't mean that she's lonely or lacking connections. And it's about knowing yourself before you can share your life however you share it and whatever dynamic it is, knowing who you are before you go and commit yourself to a relationship. um and it is about your self-worth, and it's about having your independence and never surrendering it, just because you're in love. um and if you make a genuine connection with someone, that person and you should always allow each other to be yourself, to be your authentic self. Because, you know, relationships are not just about the romantic side, it's about the practicalities of life. It's about the problems that you come up against on a day to day basis. And, sex and the romance is only a small part of that, or a big part of that for some people. It depends on who you are. And it's not, yeah, it depends on who you are on a personal level. And it shouldn't be the entirety of how you get fulfilled. Um, you got to know what you want before you go into a relationship, and you can't expect a person to fulfill all the things that you're lacking in your life or provide, and that's not even for only financially. Yeah, I agree with a lot of stuff, and it's also about being there for the good times and the really bad times. It sounds cliche, but it's true. And it's about, supporting your partner in what they do as well as them supporting you. It is really, all this stuff is quite cliche, but it's true. It's all about the give and take. And you got to set boundaries, that things that you will not accept in a relationship before you go into it, and before you got to know what you want, really. So I agree with a lot of what they've said about it, and it's about that. These are things, a lot of what you carry on in your normal day-to-day life, your working life, even even when in your relationships with your children. There are boundaries that you have to set. There are things that you expect of one another, you as a parent, them as a child. you know, we've got to know what our expectations are, you know, and we work through it a lot of the time. It's a natural thing. But yeah, I agree with everything that they were talking about. I think it's a great conversation.
I think so too, especially, where we are right now. It seems like there's some type of like disconnect or difficulty when it comes to relationships and people getting in genuine relationships, staying in genuine relationships, and having success. And I think a lot of it is because there's too many things that they are requiring and adding in to feel as though a relationship is successful and can be successful. Like people got these long lists, these laundry lists of what someone has to come with, to the relationship. They have these, just high expectations of what another human being is going to bring into their life. And a lot of people, honestly, I don't think that they are dating for compatibility. I don't think they're dating for companionship. I don't think they're getting into relationships for any of that. I think these are people that are dating because there is something that they lack in their life that they haven't figured out how to, provide for themselves. And they want to get into a relationship to find a partner that is going to be able to provide those things for them. And that's when I think you have a lot of, this unequal yoked and this lack of, succession rate when it comes to relationships, because I just really think people are going in wanting things that they can't provide for themselves. They can't figure out how to make themselves happy. They, and like you said, outside of the physical, you don't even necessarily need another person to, fulfill your physical needs. Like what people saying, there's so many, toys and things like that. So even when it comes to your physical needs, you don't need another person to do that. You're depending on that person to bring something into your life that you have not figured out or gone out of your way to provide for yourself. And I think that that is what a lot of these relationship disconnects, come from. It's just like you have to be whole. You have to go in with your cup full, not your cup half empty, and not your cup on dry. And a lot of people are going in and starting relationships where their cup is dry and some half empty, and they're looking for the other person to fill up the rest of that. Your cup should be full before you go into a relationship with someone, because then you're not depending or holding on to that person like a leech and needing them so much. You appreciate their presence because they add to what you already have. Um, and that cup runneth over, right? If your cup is already full. But if you're out here thirsty and, missing pieces and stuff like that, or walking around with holes in your heart and things of that nature, and looking for the relationship or the person to come and fill in that deficit and that gap for you, that typically doesn't end well, because you should never expect anybody else to do that. You should be able to do that for yourself before getting into a relationship. And it even can go down to finances. A lot of people are dating for finances. A lot of people are getting into relationships because this person has a certain amount of money, or drives this type of car, or lives in this type of home. This is the lifestyle that I want. So if I date them, then now I am, vicariously living this lifestyle, just being in a relationship with this person, instead of going out and having that lifestyle that you want and making that happen for yourself. So a lot of relationships, I think these days, especially with the youth and this generation, is very much transactional. They're not dating for love. They're not dating for, for better or for worse. They're dating for what they can get out of it, what they have a lack of that they need, or what they desire to have that they just can't go out and get for themselves. And they want to date someone who's going to be able to bring those things to them. And then you find yourself in those positions, right? And then now you're living with someone that you really don't like, you really don't mesh with or get along with. And now you're in the same household. You're fighting, you're arguing all the time, and you're annoyed because this is a person that you're using. It's not a person that you love. And I can't say all relationships are like that, but a lot of the ones that I've been seeing playing out, it's about what they need and what they can get out of it. But I have seen a lot of, and what I would say is it's the fine wines, the fine wines, who have spoke about the fact that, and even when it comes to marriage, there's a lot of people that are married, but they still live separate. They still have their own home because they need their own space. Now, that's a them thing. If that works for them, then I'd say, do what works for you. You know what I mean? I just feel like if I have a spouse, I don't mind. I could live separate from my spouse, but I feel like if we make those vows, then, I think if we like each other enough and we rock together well enough and, things are working well, then it wouldn't be no issue with cohabitating. But like I said, to each their own, but a lot of people, sometimes they have enough money to be in big enough homes to where they can literally have that same, aspect of their lives where they don't have to necessarily be around each other all the time. And also people work, they have different type of careers. So for most of the part, people are not around each other 24/7 anyway. I know the pandemic brought out a lot of changes and things like that, because it almost forced spouses and couples to be together. They've been so used to not being together 24/7. And that is what kept the relationship alive, because they had that space and time away from one another. Being up under each other all the time, I don't think that's good either. I think you should have your own outlet, your own space, go out with your girlfriends, have your own hobbies, do your own things. You don't just be up under that person all the time, because you will get sick of each other. That's just how it is. Whether you have a, romantic relationship or a platonic relationship, a lot of youth and stuff like that, they start getting into fights and falling out, even at college years, because they stuck in the dorm up under each other and there's no space away from one another, except like they go to class and whatnot. But if you're always up under somebody, you're going to wind up bumping heads. You're going to wind up arguing. You're going to wind up, having friction between one another. You need that outlet. You need that space. You need your own personal space. And I feel like if you can find a way to balance that, healthily, but still have the love and the connection as well, then you can have a good thing going. I think everything in life, the most important things in life, we have to remember need to be balanced. And when you find a healthy balance, I think you have a healthy outcome. But that's all I got to say on that. Did you have anything that you want to add, Ma? Or let's take a quick song break, because now we're going to have to go ahead and move on to our second topic, y'all. So we're going to end here with Whoopi and Keke. If y'all want to watch the rest of this interview on your own accord, I'll go ahead and drop that link real quick before I exit out. But yeah, we got to move on to the next one, and I'll let y'all know what that is in just a sec. Let me just go ahead and pop this link in the chat. If y'all want to check out this episode from Keke Palmer with Whoopi Goldberg. It's not too much left. We pretty much covered most of it. Here you go. That's the link. And then our next topic we'll be getting into, we'll be listening to a little bit more from, Roy Wood Jr. on finding happiness through pain, fatherhood, and optimism. And this is over on Tammi Mac's YouTube platform that is called Happy With Tammi Mac. And so we'll be covering that next. Let's go ahead and take a quick song break, y'all, and we will be right back. Thank you so much for rocking with us and spending time with us this evening. We really appreciate it. Let's get a little boppity bop, and we'll see you in just a bit.
Yeah. Everybody got a version of me. But this is my truth. Got opinions, never ask me who I am. Read one page, close the book, now they think they understand. They call my kindness weakness, my forgiveness being blind. But I just refuse to let this cold world steal my shine. I've been stabbed in the back, still I lead with love. Lost lost a lot of people, still I look above. I smile through the pressure, I survive the rain. Turn my tears into diamonds, turn my losses into gain. Don't mistake my silence for not seeing. Peep every vibe, every switch, every reason. Real power knows when to leave without making a scene. I'm misunderstood, it's alright, God's still writing every line. I'm more than labels, more than pain, more than every rumor attached to my name. If you really wanna know me, walk beside me, not behind me, not around me. Yeah, I'm multifaceted, diamonds got more than one side. Some days I'm the storm, some days I'm the sunrise. I make my own choices, I stand on my own feet. Can't nobody live my purpose or rewrite my dreams. God gave me free will, I'm gonna use mine. If I stumble, I get up every single time. I answer to my conscience in heaven above, not strangers who mistake my beat for giving up. I will scream to fit your comfort, I won't dim. Defeat your ego with freedom looks different. Then let me be different. Still I'm standing, still believing, still becoming. Maybe if we listen before we judge, we discover we all carry invisible scars. So before you decide who somebody is, learn what they survived. The song is for every soul who's ever felt misunderstood. Misunderstood.
All right, y'all, we back. So thanks for rocking with us with that quick little song break. I hope y'all liked the song. If you did, thank you very much. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the second part of the live, y'all. We don't want to hold y'all up too long. But we'll be hearing a little bit from, Roy Wood Jr. on the second part. If y'all didn't check out the part one, you could please do so if you'd like. But this is going to be the second part of his conversation with Tammi Mac, and he will be speaking on legacy, purpose, and returning home to find true joy. So on Happy with Tammi Mac, which is her YouTube channel and platform, y'all, Roy Wood Jr. transitions from discussing the financial struggles and the grief of his early career into what actually brought him genuine, lasting happiness. He talks about leaving as preparation, not abandonment. Roy reflects on leaving his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, explaining that stepping away wasn't walking away from his roots, but gaining the leverage, platforms, and resources necessary to return and make real impact within his hometown. He also talks about true happiness beyond industry accolades. Roy reveals that high profile TV gigs, fame, and awards only gave him visibility, not inner peace. His real turning point came when he channeled his energy into Rolled with Rickwood, honoring the Negro Leagues and Black baseball history in Birmingham. He also will be talking about building a legacy for the next generation. He discusses how honoring his bloodline and his father's memory through meaningful storytelling allow him to transition out of survival mode into authentic fulfillment, creating a blueprint for his own son growing up. So, did you have a few things you wanted to say, Imani, before we start, or you want to just jump right in, girl?
Let's jump right in.
All right, let's get into it. So, we're going to pick up where we left off, y'all. Excellent conversation. I hope you guys like it. And per usual, we will meet y'all in the chat.
It don't matter to me. It ain't none of my candy. I just write it off. Ain't none of my candy.
Okay,
I ain't finna chase you.
You soaked that one
So
in. Okay, got it.
That's backlog. So I go to my man in the gas station. I go, I'm making $10 across. I'm lying through my teeth.
Right.
I'm making $10 across the street. But for you, just give me $5 to $10 worth of candy. And we good. He go, you got a deal, little nigga. You got a deal, boy. So After summer school, I would go across the street. I sweep the parking lot of the church's chicken. While I'm eating that chicken, swipe, sweep the parking lot of the Sitco. Go into Sitco, leave with $10 worth of Snickers bars, Skittles, whatever. Go to summer school the next day,
Sell it.
sell the candy. So that was the first. It's the idea of independence, and that's what
Yeah.
every man wants. I can't speak for women, but I know that as a man, to be able to not need anyone is one of the most freeing feelings in the world. And so that it wasn't even about the money. It was about the fact that now I do not need to ask my mom for anything.
Yeah.
And I ain't got to hear her take that long, deep breath before she called one of her sorors asking, can she borrow whatever, 40, 50, whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
Or watching her pull out her checkbook and her budget thing
Yeah.
and figuring out what's not going to get paid this month
Yep.
so I can get the Ken Griffey's or the back to school. I remember one year, I'm a Cubs fan. The Cubs had this dope ass Sammy Sosa batting practice spring training exclusive, only available for a week and a half.
It don't
Type
sound
jersey.
like nobody
Oh,
black could afford that though.
oh, but I did because I was raking them leaves.
And selling that candy.
And then that got me into my first job at Baskin Robbins. And I remember when we went in to get the application, it was leaving church, and my mom took me there to pick up the application. She goes, all right, I was 14. She goes, are you sure you want to do this? I go, do what? She says, start working. Once you start this, you're never going to stop. Today is your last day. If you go in that building, today is your last day doing all of this other stuff that you've ever wanted to do. And you 14, you ain't thinking about shut up, Joyce. Open the door. Go in here and get this
Give me this application.
I'll be damned. She was right.
She was right.
She was right. I ain't never stopped working since.
Because this probably gonna be the most chill you are today. You
This
leave
is
here and
the
have to
most
go back to work.
serene. Like, it's cool to like just sit here with you. Because also I like respect you, and you're like a prepared journalist, and you have real conversation. You're not asking me, so when did you tell your first joke? Yeah, I'm never gonna get hit with that shit from you. But I'm sorry, that's a very long
Might be a
answer.
good question. I don't know.
I mean, that's a very long answer, but in terms of that burnt orange, it's like I'm just optimistic, I'm happy, but also know, all right, I probably should do a little less if I can.
Yeah.
But to do less, I feel like I need to be making more. So to make more right now, I need to do more.
But let me ask you this though, Roy. Are you doing more because you want to do more, or because you're at the status that you are? Are people requesting and requiring you to do more? Is it a choice, or is it really no choice at all in the matter?
I think you can curate the things you commit to, but if it's just the things I want to do, I still could fill my calendar with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think you do things. I think the trick now is you do whatever it is you have to do, and you balance that with things you want to do, so that it doesn't all feel like a chore.
Right.
So for me, that's probably the bigger issue now is, okay, I said yes to this. It could be a chair. Perfect example right now. So we have, there were a lot of fires in Los Angeles. And a lot of people that I know in the entertainment community lost their homes. And a lot of them are not people out in Malibu who
Right.
gonna get their check.
Right.
Probably already didn't got their check. It's a lot of folks that's gonna be down bad. And so you'll have people that'll go, oh, I'm doing a benefit show. Okay, cool. Well, I know a million people doing benefit shows. I can't do every benefit show.
Right.
But there's a time where I would have tried. And so the growth comes in going, hey, can't do that one. And then as I've learned, and I probably shouldn't. Like, a wise woman told me a long time ago, no is a complete sentence, but I'm always no, comma. And then I try to explain why I can't.
Yeah.
My own little,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, still like me, don't be mad.
Right. Exactly.
Which just means, no, I can't do it. So the journey to get into a place of just saying no cleanly, a little shaky, but I will say no now. I can't do all of that. I know that that's something you need me to do and you trying to do your thing, but I've committed to this charitable angle of it, and I'm focusing all my efforts just on that
Right.
because the rest of this time has to be for me.
Mhm.
So, I'm still learning in that regard. 46, still learning.
I think we'll forever be learning, right? It's clear that 95 had an effect on you when it comes to your work ethic and the desperate need to work even when there's not a desperate need. But how else were you affected? What else? Because you said that whole year after.
Well, I just worked. I just worked. And so then that rolled into college where it's like, okay, now I'm in college. Now I can't work the way I want because the classes are
Right.
all over the place. Now I really need clothes. Now I really need the best speakers in my dorm room.
No way.
Yeah, you do. And so then
Not the
that's
best
where
speakers.
like stealing and all of that came into play. Where it's like it's still, but even though you get your hands on somebody else's credit card and you go run it up and go buy some clothes, okay, fine. But even that was still rooted in not wanting to be a burden on my mom.
Mm.
It wasn't about the thrill of you a klepto and you just like stealing. No, I don't feel like hearing my mama take that breath when I call for money. You know,
That's, I mean, that's classic Black mama though.
hey, mama,
I
you
think
got the money for the.
we
And
all know
so,
that breath.
and so now with my son, I don't know anything else about parenting, but I've made it clear to my son, if you need it, ask me.
But
Period.
you don't feel like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to say
Are
it.
you crippling
Yeah.
him
Are
by
you
not
enabling?
am I an enabler? And I don't know yet because he's 8.
Mhm.
When does the switch flip? Because it's like, all right, go work and learn how to earn and appreciate a dollar.
Right.
Yeah, but also don't steal one. I got real lucky. I should have gone to prison. I got real lucky.
Did you go to
I
jail?
I went to jail. I didn't get sentenced. I got arrested,
Right.
but my ultimate sentence was probation
Okay.
for something that should have sent me to prison. I had a lot of good people in my corner who wrote a lot of very strong worded letters to prosecutors. And that kept me out of jail as a 19-year-old.
Right.
And that's what got me into stand up was that whole experience. But if my actions were rooted in not wanting to be a burden, then my child will never need to ever feel like one to me. That moves to the top of the list of things to do as a parent.
Right.
Now, underneath that, how do I instill values and blue collar and elbow grease and everything you talking about?
Right.
Got to figure that out. But for my own brain and I guess trauma or whatever, I don't want it. And if he asks me for something, I'm not going to make a face or a grimace
Mm.
or, there could be a you don't need that,
Right.
maybe, but you don't need that versus I cannot afford it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, I hope, two different catalysts. And
This
that's
is
how you
good. Wait,
keep, that's how you keep
this is
1995
so good, Roy.
from
Yeah.
digging and permeating into the next generation.
Yeah, that's what I was
of-
about to say. Are we so tainted and triggered by and by we, I mean me in this instance, because you think differently. But Black people are always saying, you got to teach that boy how to work. You got to make sure he working. Is that something that's a toxic trait of Black people? Because we don't know, I don't want to say wealthy, but people who have it, we don't know how that feels. And so in our minds, we're always talking about you got to work, you're a man, you got to work. But did Aaron Spelling make his son work? Did I don't know. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
of are the Kardashian, is that brother
The,
working? You know what I mean? Like there's a different class of people who think differently than where we come from. So are you doing it right and the rest of the black folk doing it wrong?
and that's the thing about parenting. You don't know whether or not you did it wrong until like 25 years in,
And your son on the couch.
still living with you. Then you're like, I should have made you go to Baskin Robbins. Should have clocked
Get you
in
an
for a shift.
application. They still around.
Yeah, like the idea though that a lot of black people, I feel, working was the easiest way to avoid whatever horrors were in
Yeah.
your world or in your head. What better way to not deal with the traumas of getting beat on than just do your job?
Yeah.
It's so within that there is still the ability to provide. So then that becomes what you believe is the focal point of values and everything. But all these same folks telling you to work, the same ones won't tell you none of their traumas or what they went through. Ask a black person over 70 something serious, and they'll tell you, well, don't worry about it. I ain't tripping on that no more. Some will tell you their struggles,
Right.
but will they really they'll talk to you about the times. Old black person tell you about, oh, them white people was beating and we was
Right.
marching and like, cool. Now tell me how that affected you and
Yeah.
informed. Tell me about the fact that you cheated on my grandma
Oh,
and you have 4 kids around the corner. Tell me about the
oh,
fact
oh,
that you
Lord.
never left granddaddy
Right.
when you found out about the 4 kids. What was it about you? Was there a self-esteem issue that made you that you feel useless? Did you inform your daughters and sons? I don't shut. I ain't finna sell them. Boy, get out my house. You want to learn the cornbread recipe?
All right, y'all, we're going to pause there for a quick commentary break. Yo, he ain't speaking nothing but straight facts. Nothing but straight facts. And, I love this conversation and I wanted to listen to this interview with him because he gives it with, a dose of comedy. And you can see Tammy Mac is cracking up. But literally everything he is saying could be further from the truth. He's talking about working, having a job, going out, trying to get a job or a hustle at a young age, right? To get the things that you desire to have as a young person, but also tired of seeing, your mother struggle, especially if you got just a mother, you from a single, parent household where it's just your mom and she working 2 and 3 jobs and you want to help her and you go out into the world to try to find a way to do it to make it easier on her, but also get some of the things that you need as well. And it can take you into one direction or the next. You can either find yourself working at a job or you can find yourself hustling in the streets. And then when he tapped into just now talking about the ancestors and the older, finer wine, fine wine, like our grandparents, our great grandparents, and things like that, talking about their experiences and what they've been through, and asking them questions as far as the traumas, that they've experienced and the choices that they made in their life, and how they sometimes can pass that down through generations. Really asking them questions like, well, what is it that really led you to making that decision? Why did you not choose to leave? Or why was that okay with you? Why did you tolerate that? All these things, right? So a lot of great conversation that they having right here. And questions that I think to this day, a lot of people still are asking and could ask, their family and their ancestors that may still be here, right? A lot of them are not here and some may still be with us. But just asking like, what were those choices about? Why did you make those choices? What led you to have to make those choices? And when do we break these generational curses, right? Because a lot of times that's what we call it. That's what it is. We pass things down from generation to generation to generation. And then we wonder why we are where we're at now, right? So I thought that was deep of him, to be speaking about that. What do you think, Imani, on this segment right here and some of the things he said? What are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we heard yesterday, about him learning his independence as a child and finding creative ways to earn money. And then, and it led to his first job. And he continued to work relentlessly. And he connects this to his ethic, to watching his mother struggle financially after his father's death. And that turns to he has a relation his relationship with money, responsibility and parenting, and because he learned entrepreneurship and independence as a child, working for so his mother wouldn't have to struggle, his father's death and the financial pressures on his mother, and his childhood survival instincts became his work habits. And there's a difference between working because you want to succeed, um, because you're afraid of being a burden. And he also came to realize that saying no was good for protecting his time and his energy. And what really I took away from that first bit and yesterday was what looks like an extraordinary work ethic can sometimes be rooted, obviously, in his childhood survival and learning that success wasn't just about doing more, it's about knowing when to stop. And then he talks about parenting trauma and what we pass down. And this is a very, very deep section because he discusses his childhood experiences and how they influence the way he parents his son. And he doesn't want his son to experience the fear of asking for help that contributed to some of his own bad decisions. Um, and then he starts talking about, he expands it to talk about generational trauma and black parenting. He got arrested at 19 and it shaped his choices. And he wants to make sure his son can ask for help without feeling shame. And balancing giving children fine, which was what I was talking to you about yesterday, balancing trying to give your children the financial support you can whilst teaching them responsibility. That's a fine balance that we have to juggle all the time, because we don't want our children to suffer or to experience some of the hardships that we did, but we also don't want them to take things for granted. And that's what he's talking about in he's in parenting. And then he's talking about some other stuff that we all talk about in all families: passing down recipes, traditions, survival skills, um, whilst trying not to give them too much and pass on too much of the emotional pain that you felt in these times. It's a really, really, really good conversation. And he's got a book called The Man of Many Fathers, um, and the men who helped shaped him. And it's about the men who helped shaped him after his father's death. And something else we were talking about, teaching children to be kind, but also learning, they must learn to trust, but also verify who they're trusting. Um, and his father's death and his mother's financial struggles were major catalysts for this guy. And they created his work ethic. The goal really isn't simply to pass down survival skills, it's to understand the trauma that brought you to where they are behind those survival skills, so we don't unknowingly pass the same burdens on to our children. We gotta teach them, but we don't have to give them all the pain and pass down all that trauma to them, so that they're living, with it as well. Unfortunately, we're having a few technical difficulties, so we are gonna stop it here. And I don't know if you've got a closing statement. I think you've got a closing statement. I've got a closing statement as well. But we would encourage people, go to Tammy Mac's um, platform. She has some great interviews. There's a lot of nuggets of learning that you can take from a lot of these interviews, which is why we do them. We're not just wanting to just watch these interviews without talking about some of the stuff that you get from them. And it was great to hear from a man who has undergone, grief, and talking about how it shaped him. Like last week, uh, um, we watched Lunel talk about losing her mother and how that shaped her and her struggles. But I don't know if you've got a closing statement. I've got one, but I'll go after you, Golden.
No, yeah, just wrapping up this portion of it, y'all. Sorry that we have to end it a little bit shorter than what we desire to do so. But StreamYard, YouTube, all of the stuff is acting crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut it a little bit short. But yeah, I did put both of the links for these two interviews in the chat. So if you guys do want to watch on your own accord, you can. Please check out Happy with Tammi Mac, and also This is Keke Palmer. Both podcasts and platforms are here on YouTube, and they hold very excellent interviews. But yeah, just some of my final thoughts or whatnot, about what Roy was talking about is beautiful to me, because I feel like we need more of these open, comfortable conversations when it comes to men of all ages, right? Our young men, our middle-aged men, our older men that have gone through experiences and things in life, and they have feelings and emotions about those, and it does shift sometimes the trajectory of the choices that they make, how they live, their personalities, all of that. And I think it's great for them to have a platform and a place where they can sit down and open up, without feeling that they're going to be judged or looked down as less than, because they're being, totally vulnerable and open and honest. And so I love the fact that he did it, but he did it with such, masculinity. And so one of the things that I feel like a lot of men are fearful of is that when they are vulnerable and they do open up, it shows like more of a feminine side, but it doesn't. You can be very masculine and open up and talk about some of your experiences, things that you've been through, and how they have shaped you to become the man that you are today. And now, as even you start to have children and you have another generation or another legacy within your bloodline that you're raising up, how it shapes how you parent, how you father your children. And I think all of that is very important for us to be able to hear these stories and hear these experiences out and understand that this may be why certain men move and operate the way they do. And I think if there's more platforms and more safe places for them to tell their truth and sometimes get a lot of things off their chest and off their mind, you may can see that there can be different outcomes within the persona and the temperament. Because building things up and holding things up inside is like a volcano always waiting to erupt. And it may erupt somewhere that's not going to be good. And then it'll lead your life to being in places and stuff where you don't want to be because of those consequences. So when you have the, opportunity to really sit down with someone who fully wants to hear you out and understand your experiences, your pains, your traumas, and things that you've gone through in your life, and where you are mentally right now, I think that's excellent. And we need more opportunities like that. But yeah, um, that's why I wanted to bring that video on as well, because I know we do talk about a lot over here, and a lot of times it always seems like it may be majorly, women things or women issues or women speakers or celebrities, but there's a lot of men as well that are really out here, like very much, healed and bringing a lot of great wisdom, to the conversation when they have these interviews, and really being vulnerable and open. And no, it doesn't make you zesty. It doesn't make you soft. It doesn't make you feminine. You're just a man speaking your experience. That is it. And so I really love to bring that to the forefront anytime I can, so we can see it's possible. Like, don't shy away from opening up, but you do have to find people you can trust to do it with. But that's like all I have as far as, my final thoughts on this last segment here. Did you have any closing statements, Imani? I'll let you go first on that, and then I'll give mine afterwards. I know it's later there for you than it is for me.
Yeah, like I said, there's a powerful thread connecting these stories today. Your life isn't defined by what happened to you or what people think of you or how quickly the world recognizes you. It's defined by what you choose to do with what you've been given. And we've all been given a lot of gifts, and it's how we use them. So Roy Wood reminded us that adversity can shape you without having to define you. He lost his father at a very young age. I believe he was 16 when he lost his father. and he faced financial hardship. He had to work through high school. He had to learn responsibility at a very young age. And that could have left him defined by struggle. But instead, those experiences helped him build resilience, independence, purpose, and become a good parent as well. Whoopi Goldberg reminded us that sometimes you can't wait for somebody else to give you permission to become who you are. You got to create opportunity, because she went out there and said, where are all those roles that people have turned down? She didn't wait for them to create a role for her in Hollywood. She said, what have you got that people don't want? And she made those films her own. She made them a lasting legacy. They may not have been box office hits, but a lot of them remain classics. So she knew her worth, and she spoke up for herself, and she kept moving forward even when her recognition didn't come immediately. And look what that got her, the first Black woman to be an EGOT. And we also have to know, as I was saying in the beginning, that growth means knowing when we should protect our peace. We got to step away from the noise, stop explaining ourselves, and allow time and truth and wisdom and karma, I will say, to speak for themselves. But also, I want to talk again about unity. Unity doesn't mean that we always agree. Unity means we can disagree without trying to destroy one another. It means we can have different experiences, different opinions, and different perspectives whilst recognizing our shared humanity. And for those who genuinely want to unify, there's an opportunity to stop the unnecessary battles, to stop feeding division, and start asking a different question. And I get this, a lot of this is said, I've got to give the credit where it's due. A lot of this is what Ralph DeWise has been saying since he came on this platform. What can we build together? Because in the world there is no enough division already, and we don't have to turn every disagreement into a war. We don't need to make enemies out of people, since simply because they see things and people and friendships and relationships differently. And we certainly don't have to sacrifice our peace just to prove we're right. Sometimes unity begins with listening, it begins with forgiveness, and it begins with accountability. And sometimes it begins with having to set right some people who need to be set right and kicked out of the community because they're a disruption, they're chaos, and they're toxic. And sometimes it begins with just the rest of us saying we're not going to allow conflict, pride, and resentment or other people's opinions to determine the direction of our lives. We can stand firmly together while still making room for others. We can protect our boundaries without closing our hearts, although some people will never get a space in there. We can pursue justice without losing our humanity. We can tell our stories without tearing down someone else's. And we can grow individually while still lifting up one another collectively. And if people continue to disrupt and cause chaos and defame and cause confusion, we can take them to court. Trust me. Anyway, Roy's story reminds us to persevere. Whoopi's story reminds us to create our own opportunities and know our worth. And I'm just saying, protect your peace and trust your growth. And unity reminds us we don't have to walk this journey alone. We can link arms and walk it together. So Keep building, keep learning, keep creating, keep telling your story, know your value, stand in your truth. And if you're someone who wants unity, be willing to be part of the solution. Be the person who chooses understanding under the unnecessary conflict and chaos. Be the person who reaches across the divide, and be the person who refuses to let disagreements become hatred. Because you know something, there's nobody out here that I hate. They're annoying, but they're not important enough for me to hate, because they're sad, they're lonely, they have no life, nobody likes them, they look in the mirror and they don't like what they see, because all they do is look at other people to tear down. Because every time they look in the mirror, they look and they see the nastiness that they are. So, I don't care about those people. Your past can explain you, it doesn't have to define you. Your setbacks can teach you, but they don't have to stop you. And other people's opinions can surround you, but they don't have to control you. And let's just keep going. Let's ignore the noise. Let's ignore the chaos. But trust me, we will respond when we need to, and we will take action when we need to, whether it's legal or whether it's reporting to YouTube or whether it's responding online, because some of these people are going to get a shock in a very short space of time. They're going to get the publicity that they're looking for. They are going to get the highlights and the accolades that they're looking for. But the only thing is, a bright light is going to be shone on them, and people are going to see exactly who they are in their own communities, in their own spaces, in their own churches, in their own environments, because they're doing this on public platforms and they don't realize that you only have a short time to do this bullshit and upset people. But we're going to stay united, stay blessed, and we're not going to be stressed.
Well said, Imani. Per usual, I always agree with everything you say. I love how you say it. And I'm gonna say a few final words as well before we go ahead and wrap up the live. So, one of the things that I wanted to say is about the topics, right? The important part, right? The topics that we covered on the live. So we had Whoopi Goldberg and Roy Wood Jr. Even though they walk different paths and belong to different generations, their stories their stories converge on a deeply human truth. True peace and freedom are built from the inside out. Whoopi teaches us that, radical power of self ownership. Her message is strong reminders to us for taking control of our financial destiny, honoring our personal boundaries, and refusing to shape our lives to fit society narrow expectations. That is not being selfish. It is called self preservation. She shows us what it looks like to stand tall in our truth, hold your head high, and protect your peace without apologizing for the space that you occupy. Roy meets us in the quiet, fragile spaces of the heart. His journey reminds us that strength isn't about hiding our wounds or pretending the pain isn't real. It's about having the courage to feel the grief, process the trauma, and turn our broken pieces into solid foundation for the next generation to come. He shows us that healing takes work, but on the other side of that, work is a grounded, unshakable joy that no trial can take away. When you bring their voices together, you get a beautiful blueprint for living on purpose that is driven by life. Whoopi gives us strength to guard our future and stand firm in our work, while Roy gives us the grace to heal from our past and live fully in the present. So, no matter what season of your life you are in, or that you are walking through right now, whether you are fighting for your independence, rebuilding after a loss, or working to break cycle pressures for your family. Know that your story isn't over. Keep standing in your truth. Give yourself permission to feel and heal. And remember that your pain is only a chapter, it's not your whole book. You have the power to protect your peace, write your own narrative, and build a legacy grounded in absolute love and authenticity. Now, as we end, y'all, I don't want to leave you on something too deep. So let's just go ahead and get into this. While Whoopi and Roy are out here building legacies, protecting their peace, and securing real bags, we have bitter, angry YouTube creators running around these streets in a complete frenzy. Why are these creators so mad 24/7? They wake up stressed, go to live streams stressed, and go to bed furious. Imagine dedicating your whole hours of your life just miserable while everybody else is living their best life. When truth hits the fan, the moment you shine a little light on their nonsense or expose the fake drama, they go into a total meltdown mode. Panic in the chat, fake outrage, steam coming out of their ears. And we're sitting here with our popcorn, ringing the bell and laughing our heads off. I call this,
Is that the dog's bell?
I call this,
Housekeepings. Housekeepings.
no, I call this the Liberty Bell message. We ring the Liberty Bells because truth sets you free. Light always drives out the shadow boxers. If someone is throwing a whole temper tantrum because you called out facts, that is not your drama. That's their workout. So, y'all, keep holding your heads high. Stay grounded in your truth. Keep your energy clean. And let the bitter stay mad while we stay blessed, joyful, laughing all the way to the top with the bells ringing all the way.
I swear, honestly, 2026 really is going to expose some people. It is
I
going to be hilarious. Watch this
can
space, guys. Watch this space.
I could barely get through it. But anyway, y'all, child, people was out here kicking and screaming, kicking up dust, just having a whole frenzy. And it's just, hey, we should really, really keep our energy, for the things that we truly need it for. I would not expel extra energy getting mad over YouTube drama that really doesn't even concern you. But that's all I got to say on this, y'all. Do you have a few final thoughts, Imani or Mama, before we end it with a boppity
Listen,
bop 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 per usual?
All I
Asha,
gotta say,
thank you. Sorry, one thing, Mama. I just want to say thank you, Asha. We try to bring some content to people that we can talk and discuss, and yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for that. We do work at it. We really do work at what we want to produce and what we want to bring to people, and we hope people enjoy the content that we bring.
well, I was hoping that it wouldn't be, but as the Liberty Bells are ringing,
The Liberty Bells are ringing.
the beat goes on.
The beat goes
The
on, the
beat's
beat
gonna go
goes on, the
on. The
beat
beat
goes
goes on.
on.
And that's
The
all I
beat
have to
goes
say
on, the
tonight.
beat
I love
goes
you
Isn't
on.
that a
guys.
song by the Whispers? And the beat goes on.
That's it.
And the beat
That's
goes
it.
on.
Yeah. And the beat goes on. That's all I can say.
All right, Mama.
All right.
Monty, you got a few things to say before we get out of here with some bops?
No, I've got nothing to say, actually. I've got
And the beat
absolutely
goes
nothing.
on, the beat goes on, the beat
Oh my
goes on.
gosh.
And the beat goes on.
That bell, the dog's bell is cracking me up. Ding, 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 ding.
Child, I didn't snatch mine from the hotel. you know, this is just, a little Christmas bell collar that I had on my dog. The bells sound really nice. I like this tone better.
Yes,
What you think?
It gives you a calmness.
That's better than, order up, order up.
I tell you what, do you think she's going to get an Oscar for Wolverine for those nails? Hmm?
Woo!
I don't know.
Oh,
Woo!
Oh,
that's possible.
did I say that? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Well,
I don't
she
know.
got an Emmy. She did get an Emmy.
She did get an
Mm,
Emmy
She
for the
did get
song.
an Emmy. Yeah,
mm,
yeah,
She might get
mm.
an Oscar for nails, and she could be
yeah.
on her way to be like Whoopi Goldberg and get that EGOT all along. You
And I
know?
think
I'll
Cruella
tell
de
you
Vil.
what, though, there's a rabid dog that might need a rabies injection running around, running around across the water. There's a rabid dog needs a rabies injection, I hear.
Yeah,
Come on back. Come on back.
and I think Cruella de Vil is very jealous right now.
Oh, my.
She needs to give us back our Dalmatian, to be honest with
Yes,
you.
If I
yes.
see her in a Dalmatian coat,
Well, she has a group of Dalmatians over there. Actually, there's a group of them.
well,
Listen, anyway, listen, we love you
hey,
guys.
we gotta get out of here.
Anyway, we out of here.
We out.
We are
We
out of
out.
here. But we had a
We
fabulous time tonight. Yes, we did. We had a fabulous live tonight. Fabulous time.
One of the things is about us is like we're very professional, right? So we present our content in a professional way, but we are very hilarious too. Like we're
Yeah,
funny.
comedy.
We have a sense of humor. Like we can be very comical when we want to be comical.
Yes.
And a lot of this stuff that's on YouTube, when it's not boiling your blood and getting up under your skin, it actually is really hilarious. So,
Yes.
like I
I'm going
said,
to
we
be
can
laughing soon. I'm going to be
Laughter.
laughing with my popcorn in the courthouse. That's when I'm going to be laughing.
pop, ring the Liberty bells of freedom.
Lord Jesus. Lord
Right,
Jesus.
listen, we need to get out of here. You going to play a song?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah,
All right. So thank you all so
See
much
y'all.
for coming and spending some time with us. We goofy. We do all the things over here. We got a little bit of everything to offer. But everybody who comes, I hope you have a good time. I hope you enjoy your time here when you come to kick it with us. And we'll be a little bit more fun for you. We'll bring out some more of our regular personalities when we're not, doing our work and stuff like that and being, so uber professional. Right. We'll just kind of let our hair down and show y'all what we really can offer. But
Speak for
thank you so
yourself.
much. Well, Imani,
No, no,
everyone
listen. We
ring the
look, we
Liberty
love doing
bell.
the content. We love doing the content. We love talking to the people. We know the people that matter come over and support. And the people that don't matter are over there dragging someone they don't know. And we just don't care. You know that? We just don't
Absolutely.
care.
Absolutely.
I think they got a couple of people who might be auditioning for Stephen's role in
Oh,
Django.
yeah.
They need a couple of few of those, a few sellouts, sellout sisters, and one that thinks she's a sister that's entitled to
Don't
drag
forget
black
the great
people.
production.
But hey,
Don't
anyway,
forget.
we're off.
No, don't forget the great production of whatever happened to Baby Jane Hudson. Okay,
Oh
she
yes,
represented
that's
the daddy.
it.
You know what I mean?
That's the
Yeah.
So,
one. Yeah, the one that called me Rust a bit. She could audition for that the new Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I wonder if she
Yeah.
can
yeah.
sing that song. I'm sending a letter to Daddy.
I
You want me to
know.
sing it?
No.
No.
While we over here
Anyway,
living our
let's
best.
go. You guys get back in the car. Get back in the car. Let's play
In
the
the car.
song and hit the
Let's
road.
take this thing home. Let's get back in the
Yes.
car and head back to the house.
That's
All right,
right.
y'all.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much for coming in and chatting with us and kicking with us and taking the time out of your day, right? And what you could have been doing to share this time with us. So that means a lot. And Asher said, shout out to Mama Warrior too.
Hello, Asher, darling. I love you. God bless you, sweetheart. Thank you.
All right, y'all. We out. Let's end it with a boppity bop bop bop. And we will talk to y'all tomorrow. We'll be back with some more content. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, Golden, Imani, and Mama Warriors out.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Listen. Can you feel it? Something shifted. The air don't feel the same. Too many masks falling. Too many truths walking in the daylight. Justice being patient. Now she's knocking at every door. Let's go! It's over. It's over. Yeah, it's over. What's hidden always finds the sunlight. What's planted in darkness always grows toward the light. Yeah, it's over. The tide done turned. The whole world finally starting to discern. We cried, we built, we stood, we healed. Now look at what refusing to quit revealed. It's over. Funny how silence got louder than the lies. Funny how fake smiles couldn't survive real eyes. Everybody wanted power, nobody wanted truth. Now accountability walking in expensive boots. Used to laugh, used to mock, used to throw stones. Now everybody scrambling, trying to protect thrones. See, light don't argue, it just shines. Truth don't rush, it arrives on time. Receipts don't disappear, energy don't lie. Everything eventually meets the most high. No shortcuts, no cheating, no editing history. What's done in the shadows always becomes somebody's testimony. Can you feel that? The atmosphere changing, people protecting peace instead of entertaining. Healing replacing hate, purpose replacing fame. The culture waking up, nothing feeling the same. It's over. No more pretending. It's over. A new beginning. Too bright, can't dim that light. Justice showed up, now everything's sitting right. It's over. The season changed, the energy rearranged. One chapter closed, another one raised. It's over. From neighborhoods to timelines, from classrooms to front lines, people standing taller, speaking with intention, learning every platform carries real consequences. Less tearing people down, more lifting people up, less chasing empty cloud, more building real trust. Every grandmother praying, every father staying, every child dreaming, every voice saying enough hiding, enough dividing, enough pretending everything alright when people die. And the next generation watching every move we make, let's leave them something stronger than another fake debate. Hey, 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 hey. Who we are? The truth. Relapse, it's a healing march. Everybody carrying visible and invisible scars. Some lost family, some lost hope. Some almost gave up, barely stayed afloat. But look now, the sun's still rising. The future looking brighter, the vision getting wider. Real ones never folded, never sold they soul. Stay 10 toes while the pressure made them gold. Now respect, sounding louder than gossip. Character worth more than popularity. Integrity becoming the new luxury. That's the flame. No revenge. Counted us out, but they never counted on the truth. The world changing. One voice, one family, one act of courage at a time. Golden Queen. This ain't the ending, it's the beginning. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over.
collective thing, you know. Yeah, high freaks. We just rising. Watch the elevation.
To look for God in the clouds and my head down. Now I see the kingdom in the people, it's a spread now. Love is a currency, we don't need a gold crown. We lifting everybody up, we don't let a soul drown. It's that eternal glow, yeah, that spiritual fastness. Turning all our trials into heavenly answers. We moving past the labels and the religious brackets. When love is the language, we don't need a tactic. Love is love, it's the way that we climb. Leaving all the soul intervention, living in a higher, holy dimension. Deep in the collective, we finding the frequency. A brotherhood rising with spirit decency. No more division, we killing the vacancy. Filling the void with a holy complacency. From the concrete roots to the celestial heights, we shining together like cityscapes. Right, it's a long road home, but the vision is clear. Love is the only thing conquering fear.
Elevation isn't just about going up. It's about bringing everyone with you. One soul, one heart, one vision. One vision, mission. Love is love. It's the way that we climb. Leaving all the heavy, bitter pieces behind. An ascension, a soul intervention. Living in a higher, holy dimension. Collective energy, no one left behind. That's the elevation. Ascension.
Gloria in excelsis. Yeah, yeah. I've been through the fire, walked through the rain, felt that pressure, felt that pain. They told me it was over, told me just give in, but they don't know the power that's living within. Yeah, I'm looking at the mountain, telling it to move. I got a different rhythm, I got a different groove. The chains are getting heavy, well, I'm getting strong. The king is on the throne, yeah, that's where I belong. Now the night is over, I see the day. All the breakthroughs coming, it's here to stay. I face the victory, come what may. It's here to stay. Something has to break. I feel it in the air. I'm casting every burden, casting every care. One night of weeping, but the morning is bright. We're walking out of darkness and into the light. Check the track record, he never failed yet. The miracle is coming, yeah, that's a safe bet. From the impossible to the it is done. The battle's already over, the victory is won. So let the strings soar, let the heavens open wide. I got the creator of the universe on They don't know her like I do. Nah. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blurred. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know her like I. She goes by golden. Soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden. City lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace with the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they got it. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace while the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden the deep. She's still soft-hearted but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love where there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through the storm. Still sad. Still dangerous. Still chosen. She goes back golden. Slow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pens in the matter. None of the tears got written when she's singing. And they still don't know her like that. They still don't know her like that. Spend so much time looking for love in strangers. Spend so much time. Spend so much time letting outside voices shake the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city cried, when the tears dry, we still got golden, golden. And who knows you better than yourself? Who feels your pain better than yourself? Who carried those nights better than yourself? Nobody. 'Cause who knows you better than Yeah. Everybody got a version of me. But this is my truth. Oh, yeah, yeah. Everybody got opinions, never ask me who I am. Read one page, close the book, now they think they understand. They call my kindness weakness, my forgiveness being blind. But I just refuse to let this cold world see my shine. I've been stabbed in the back, still I lead with love. Lost a lot of people, still I look above. Smile through the pressure, I survive the rain. Turn my tears into diamonds, turn my losses into gain. Don't mistake my silence for not seeing. Peep every vibe, every switch, every reason. Real power knows when to leave with Figured diamonds got more than one side. Some days I'm the storm, some days I'm the sunrise. I make my own choices, I stand on my own feet. Can't nobody live my purpose or rewrite my dreams. God gave me free will, I'm gonna use mine. If I stumble, I get up every single time. I answer to my conscience in heaven above, not strangers who mistake my beat for giving up. I won't scream to fit your comfort, I won't dim to feed your ego. If freedom looks different, then let me be different. Still I'm standing, still believing, still becoming. Maybe if we listen before we judge, we discover we all carry invisible scars. So before you decide who somebody is, learn what they survived. The song is for every soul who's ever felt misunderstood.